Okay, guys. Good morning. So, my name is Samir, and I'll be your faculty for this. Okay, guys. So, when it comes to my profile, so just let me walk through my profile. See, I have around 10 years of experience, and currently I'm working in some that is corporate. And when it comes to this, my work profile, I worked on, there is various OLAP tools. And since the past 3 years, I'm working on this cloud technology, that is Azure Data Factory and the bricks. Okay, guys. And that's it about my profile. Okay. So anyways, any questions for me? You can just ask me any questions if you have. Okay. So am I audible? And one more thing, guys, I want everyone to just, interact with me, because it gives me an idea. So whether you guys are following it or not. So whatever we are discussing, I want everyone to just, have your small participation of saying yes or no, or say something. Okay, guys. Am I audible to everyone? Yes.
Yes, Samir.
Yes, Samir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, okay, guys. So let's
Samir,
yeah,
I have
please,
one
please,
doubt.
please. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
please.
prior to this ADF, so what kind of knowledge required?
See, that's a good question. Prior to this, actually, whether you do anything, whether it comes to this, whether you are from an IT background or not. So one must and should learn there is SQL as a mandatory thing. Okay, because though the ADF is a purely that is nothing but a graphical user interface, but still you to understand the coding or the that is nothing but thing which happens beyond the screen. So one must and should have it. Okay, that's my opinion. But in fact, you don't require the any prior knowledge of any, this thing, any subject when it comes to this ADF, because the ADF is purely a graphical user interface. Okay, guys.
Okay. So if
Okay.
we already know Power BI, then then learning ADF will be advantage, or how?
Basically, Power BI is an analytical tool, cloud-based analytical tool,
Okay.
and this is a middleware. The ADF will be the middleware. Okay, we'll do one thing. Let us start now, and we'll have our discussions and doubt after the session. Okay, that would be more convenient for all of you to have, to ask more questions. So just okay. So shall we move ahead, guys? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, guys, let us start with now. What is Azure data engineering? Okay, what is Azure data engineering? What is Azure data engineering? So whereas Azure data engineering consisting of the following, what is that you have it? The first service, guys, Azure data engineering consisting of the following, where the first service of the Azure data engineering is called as Azure Data Factory. Okay, guys, ADF, Azure Data Factory. Whereas here we call it as a service. All of you make sure this is not a software. This is a service. It is called as what? Service. Whereas the second one is called as the, guys, the second one is called as Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks. And the next one after this, we have called as Azure. Okay, guys. So Azure Synapse. Azure Synapse. Okay. Analytics. Okay. So likewise, we have many services provided into this. What is that? Azure Data Engineering. Into what is that? Azure Data Engineering. Now, guys, before we understand what exactly, where exactly the Azure Data Factory is used. Okay, Azure Data Factory is used, and what is the Azure Data Bricks, where it is used and how it is used, and what is the Synapse, what is Azure Synapse Analytics. Before we understand all these, guys, first of all, I would like to walk you through from a very basic things. Okay, so let us try to understand first of all what is clouds and what is on premises. What is clouds and what is on premises? Let us try to understand first these two things, guys. Then we will then automatically you will understand what are the why basically we use the Azure Data Factory and what is Azure Data Bricks, and as well as the what is Synapse Analytics. Okay, guys. Now, so as far as your knowledge is concerned, can you guys tell me what do you mean by clouds? Yeah, can you tell me what do you mean by clouds? Someone? Anything? See, guys, I want you guys to just interact. You say whatever you think that is correct, or whatever it's not. We all are not perfect, but we are trying out. So whatever you want to say, you can just say it very openly, because you must and should have a habit of speaking very openly, guys. It's a storage service. Okay.
It's a data center.
Data center. Very good. Yeah. Any other thing? Okay.
It's a data center. For that, we can use from anywhere. With
Very
any
good. Yes, very good.
PCs and
Okay. Very good. Okay. So now, guys, I'll just walk you through what is clouds and what is on-premises. Now, just come out of the subject. I don't want to discuss anything now regarding what is the cloud environment, what is on-premises environment. I don't want to discuss anything, guys. So let us take an example. So we all use mobile phones, do we?
Yes, sir.
Guys, we all use mobile phones. So since the past few years, we have been habituated of using the mobile phones, isn't it? Whereas even after this the lockdown time, we are very much habituated of using the mobile phone and seeing our mobile phones on an ample of seconds, isn't it? We always stick into the mobile phones. Now, can you guys tell me what are the memories you will have it in a mobile phone? Can you tell me, guys? What are the memories where you can store the data, and what are the type of memories you have in a mobile phone?
Photos.
What are the type of memories you will have?
SD card.
I'm not saying the type of data, guys. I'm saying what are the type of memories?
RAM and ROM.
RAM and ROM.
Okay, that is fine. So now, guys, okay, we can have, or else I'll just simplify this more. Where you can store the data in your mobile phone? What are the memories in which you can store the data?
Internal storage.
Very good, very good. That is nothing but you will have to type. Yeah, pardon me. Please come on.
SD card.
Very good, very good. So we can store the data in what is that? Either in a SD card or else SD card. Okay, scan disk card. Or else we can store the data in what is that? You have the mobile memory, isn't it or not? Mobile memory. So now every mobile will have a capacity of memory. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Every mobile will have its capacity of storing the data. So that means some of the mobiles now we are getting it as what is that? 256 GB, 256 GB. Okay, 256 gigabyte of data you can store it, or else we are getting even the more advanced phones. Now, prior to provide that is providing this 256 GB of mobile data. That is 256 GB of space in the mobile to store the data. Prior to that, suppose the mobile memory was that is they don't used to give 256 GB as the memory. Okay, so something around 50 or 50 or even prior to that, even 10 to 15 GB they used to provide it. That is nothing but the mobile providers, isn't it or not? That is the manufacturers of the mobile phone. Now at that time, what we used to do, tell me now. Yeah, suppose, okay, leave it this one. So we have, suppose your mobile phone has a memory of 256 GB. That means you can store the data up to 256 GB. Suppose you have 500 GB of data to be stored in your mobile phone. That means some kind of photos is there, some etc. videos are there, etc. etc. But you have to store how much data, guys? You have to store how much data? 500 GB of data you need to store it. So what will you do? Tell me now.
We'll keep in a drive.
Very good. That means prior to this, if you have to do the same task, we used to buy an SD card. Okay, scan disk card. We used to buy a scan disk card, but we are not buying it right now. But rather than that, if you want to store the data more than the memory provided into your mobile phone, simply we are using what is the drive. Simply we are using what is it called as what, guys? Drive. That is called as what? Google Drive. Am I right, guys? Google Drive. Yes, guys. Am I right? Google Drive.
Yes.
Whereas suppose if you're using an iPhone, so iPhone, Apple is providing some memory. Apple is also providing some memory that you can store it in what is it? Apple Drive. Isn't it or not? That is called as what is it? Something, Apple Drive. So in that particular drive, you can store the data. But how does it allows you to store the data? Tell me now. Or else Google Drive is there. So Google Drive, in the Google Drive, what is the amount of data you can store it? Tell me now by default. Yes, guys, any idea?
15 GB.
Very
maximum.
good. Very good. 15 GB of data you can store it. But if your data is going beyond 15 GB, what is the alternative you have it? Tell me now, guys.
You need to pay. For
Yes,
1 year, I think for
very
100
good.
GB, you need to pay 1300 amount.
Very good. Very good. That is nothing but if you have the data exceeding 15 GB to be required to be stored on the Google Drive, we need to buy the drive space. Suppose I have 1000 GB to be stored. So I need to buy the space on the Google Drive. So that means the Google will provide you that is nothing but 1000 GB of data storage. But you need to buy it. Suppose you bought it already by paying some cost. Now from this point onwards, you have stored the entire data from your mobile memory. You have shifted to what is that? The drive memory, and entire 1000 GB of data you have utilized it. Now it is there. Suddenly one day what happened? You lost your mobile phone, guys. You lost your mobile phone. So now at this, once you lost your mobile phone, what happens here? Once you lost your mobile phone, you bought another mobile phone. So once you lose your mobile phone, okay, once your mobile phone is stolen, guys, so the data is also will be stolen. That means you previously we don't used to we were not in a position to recollect the data or get the data. But now, as you have stored the data in a Google Drive, you can buy a new handset. And just by entering your what is it email ID and using the option called synchronize, you can get the entire 1000 GB data which you have stored on the drive back resaved into your mobile phone. Am I right, guys? Yes, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So whereas what you're doing, that means you're able to recollect your entire data. Okay, we are able to recollect your entire data and save it back to your mobile phone with the help of that Google Drive. That means from this point onwards, the point from which you're storing the data into the Google Drive, who is responsible for saving your data?
There.
Google.
Obviously, Google. Very good. Obviously, the Google. Who is responsible for security of your data?
Google.
Google.
Okay. So now, who is responsible for providing the access to your data?
Google.
Google.
Google. It's the responsibility of Google. So simply what you're doing, you change any device, n number of devices, no issues. Even if you lose that mobile, or if the mobile is stolen, or if the mobile is broken, or whatever the thing happened to your mobile phone, simply you need to buy a handset, and but just enter your email ID followed by what is that, guys? Followed by the password. You can synchronize. You can pull in the entire data from the drive back saved into your mobile phone. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
So
Yes.
here can you see? Yes, here can you see the mobile phone and the internal mobile phone memory is like an ancient technique of storing the data. Am I right, guys?
Correct.
Nowadays we are storing the data in what is that, guys?
Google.
Drive. So Google Drive is just like a cloud, or not like a cloud. It is a cloud. Getting my point? It is a cloud, whereas you store the data into the clouds. The point is starting from here, guys. The actual point is starting from here. That means Google Drive is your cloud environment. Google Drive is called as what? Your cloud
environment.
Yes, cloud environment. Whereas the mobile memory which we used to have it previously, that is 256 GB, etc., etc. This kind of memory is called as what is that? On premises. It is called as what is that, guys? On premises. This is called as what? On premises. Getting my point? So whereas in a mobile phone itself, we can say that we can have what is that? Two type of data. What is the two type of data? The first type of data is what is that? Yes, mobile phone data, which we call it as what? On premises. Whereas the second type of data is what? Google Drive data. Google Drive, that is called as what? Data in clouds. Data in what is that? Clouds. Where where you pay as much as cost, you will get that much memory to store, and retrieval is easy. And now, guys, if you store the data in your Google Drive anywhere from the world, you can access your data. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Anywhere.
Yes, sir.
You are there in US, you are there in India, you are there in Singapore, you are there in Japan. It doesn't matter. You can simply access it by entering your email ID and the password. The same logic or the same thing is applied on a very large scale here. Now, what has happened here is, why we are using the clouds is, many of the business, okay, many of the, that is nothing but business, they wanted to move from on-premises to what is that? Cloud environment. See here, guys, if you lose your, can you see here? If you lose your 1000 GB of data, or if you lose your mobile phone, you will lose 1000 GB of data. Am I right, guys? So whereas the business entities will have, that is nothing but very massive, yes, very massive amount of data. Just put it in your mute mode, please. Okay. So now, guys, very massive amount of data. It will have, what is it? A very massive amount of data. So now most of the business entities are moving, okay, are moving from what is that? On premises to cloud environment, because of this particular reasons. What are the reasons? The security reason and accessing of data. Okay, and what is it? You have it. That is nothing but that is accessing of data from anywhere in the world. Okay, guys, just put in mute mode. Somebody is there. Uma Shankar.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please put it in mute mode. Okay. So now, guys. Okay. So this is the thing we have it. What is it? Clouds, and what is that? On-premises environment. Cloud, and what is that? On-premises environment. Whereas, so who is providing? That is, who is providing here? Yes, guys. Some noises are coming. Please mute yourself, all of you. Now, guys, can you see here? Here, when you want to store the data into the Google Drive, okay, so the Google is providing, that means the provider of the drive is, who is that? The provider of the drive is the Google. Likewise here, whenever you wanted to store the data or whenever you wanted to move the data from the on-premises environment to cloud environment on a very large scale, here are the following cloud providers are there in the market. What is that? The first market leader in providing the that is nothing but the cloud service is, what is that? Azure. What is that? Yes, Azure.
Microsoft.
Yes, Azure. What is it? Microsoft. We have, what is it? Azure Microsoft. That means Microsoft. Yes, guys. Microsoft. Okay. So that means Azure is a product. Azure is a product of, what is that? Microsoft. That means Microsoft is marketing. Microsoft is marketing their product of cloud. Azure, that is, Microsoft is marketing their product of, what is that? Cloud, with a name called, what is that? With a name called, what is that? Azure. Okay. Whereas, such as we have, the Birla supermarket, that is called as More Supermarket. More Supermarket, More is the brand of Birla. That means Birla is selling the groceries with a name called, what is that? More. In the same way, Microsoft is selling their cloud products with a name called, what is that? Azure. And whereas apart from this, we have the next provider as AWS. So what do you mean by AWS, guys? AWS. Yes,
Amazon Web Services.
very good. Amazon Web Services. Yes, guys. And then the third upcoming leader, the third upcoming leader right now in the market is, what is it?
Google
GCP.
Cloud.
Yes, GCP, which stand for Google
Google Cloud.
Platform. Okay, what is that? Google Cloud Platform. Okay, Google Cloud Platform. Okay, guys. Okay, Google Cloud Platform. Likewise, you have many providers in the market, such as we have, what is it? Alibaba. It is a China based. Okay, and then we have, what is that? Oracle is there. Oracle has also come out with their own, the cloud. And then we have, what is it? SAP in the market. Even they have come out with their own clouds. But whereas, of course, some of the corporates are using even the Oracle, SAP, etc. But right now, the market leader is, what is that? Azure. Market leader is, what is that? Azure. Whereas, guys, these cloud providers, can you see here? These cloud providers has divided their services. How they have divided their services? Now, guys, can you see here? Just go back to your previous example of Google Drive. The Google Drive can provide you the data only for storing, isn't it or not? Am I right? Google Drive is providing the service called storage of data into their clouds. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Google Drive is providing the service called storage of data on the cloud. Am I right, guys? So likewise, here, these rest of all the cloud providers are providing their services in three categories, or they have divided their services into, what is that? Three categories. What are those services? We have it. The first one, it is called as what? IaaS. The first one is called as what? IaaS, which stands for what? Infrastructure. Infrastructure. Okay, guys. What is that? Infrastructure. Infrastructure. Yes, guys. As a infrastructure as a service. Okay, guys. Infrastructure as a service, which stands for what? IaaS. And then we have, what is it, guys? PaaS. Yes, what is it? We have it? PaaS. So now, guys, PaaS stands for, what is that? Platform as a service. Yes. Platform as a service. Okay, guys. Platform as a service. And then we have the third one. What is that? IaaS, PaaS, and what is that? SaaS. SaaS. That stands for, what is that, guys? Software as a service. Very good. Software as a service. Okay, guys. So now, guys, these are the three categories of services which are provided by the cloud providers, or we can say the cloud providers has divided their services. The cloud provider has divided their services into how many categories here, guys? 3 categories. What are those 3 categories? The first one is IaaS, the second one is PaaS, and the third one is what is that? CaaS. So now, guys, what do you mean by infrastructure as a service? Now, guys, within the infrastructure of the service, suppose you wanted to store, guys, some 1,000 petabytes of data. You wanted to store some 1,000 petabyte of data. Getting my point, all of you? Please, all of you concentrate well here. Everyone, am I audible and clearly, you know, the concept is, you know, you can understand the concept. Am I right, guys?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yeah. So what is it we have it? In infrastructure as a service. Now, guys, now you wanted to store 1,000 petabyte of data. So generally, you need to buy an hard disk of that size. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Generally, you need to buy the hard disk of that size, isn't it or not?
Yes.
So whereas here you need not buy the hard disk. Simply you need to inform the cloud providers. So to that you wanted to store the data of what is that? 1,000 GB. Sorry, 1,000 petabyte. Okay, 1,000 what is that? PB. That is called as what? Petabyte. So 1,000 petabyte data you wanted to store it. Simply you need to inform them and they will charge you for it. But in fact, they provide you the storage. Whereas you, for your job, you require the RAM of what is that? 56 GB RAM you require it. What is the RAM? You require a RAM memory of what is that? 56 GB. So here you need not buy the RAM. Simply you need to inform the cloud provider that you require a RAM space of what is that? 56 GB here. So that is nothing but the cloud, it is the responsibility of cloud provider to provide you the same. Getting my point, guys? So anything which is related to what is that? Storage. Okay. Anything which is related to the storage will come under what is that? Infrastructure as a service, which comes as what is it, guys? Infrastructure as a service. Now, guys, when it comes to the platform, so what do you mean by platform, guys? You all are professionals.
System storage.
You must be well acquainted with the platforms. So, guys, what is platform? Platform
to store.
Simple, yes. That is called as what? Operating systems. Oh, yes. Operating system. Now, guys, what are the operating systems you have it? Windows.
Linux.
Yes. Unix. And then we have Linux, Unix, whatever we say. And then we have what is that? Mainframes. Mainframes, etc. Now, guys, in what situation we use the Windows and in what situation we use the mainframes? Mainframes operating system is supported whenever you have massive amount of data. That means whenever you have a massive amount. So where can you get it, the massive amount? Mostly the massive amount of data is expected from the banking industry. Isn't it or not? The banking industry will have what is that? The very massive and huge amount of data. Guys, what is that? A massive and very huge amount of data. So at that time, the Windows operating system does not support it. Okay, whenever you pass the select command, the Windows operating system does not support it. So for that, we can place a request to the cloud provider to change your operating system from Windows to what is that? Mainframes or Unix or whatever. Where here, everything, you need not worry about the licenses and all. Everything will be taken care by what is the cloud providers. Now, guys, here you require some softwares. What is that? Suppose you require some Power BI here. Okay, you require Power BI, and to perform some statistical analysis, you require some software called SAS. Okay, which stands for Statistical Analysis System. Okay, guys, you require some software called SAS. Okay, or even you require some kind of, you know, what is that? Database you require it. Database you require it. That is called as what's that? Oracle. Okay, Oracle software, etc., etc. You require it. So all these, who will be worrying about the license? You need not worry about the buying of license and all those things. Okay, everything you can just that is put it on the shoulder of the cloud provider to provide you. Simply they will charge. Simply they will charge. Simply they will, what is that? They will charge. Just like the OTT platforms, guys. OTT platforms. So we are all, since the 2020 lockdown, we all are, very much, that is used to with the apps called OTT, isn't it? OTT apps. So now, guys, so let us go with the, Amazon Prime is there, or else we have Netflix is there. Okay. And we have, that is the Disney Hotstar,
Z5.
yeah, Z5, etc. All these are the apps we have it. But whereas whenever you log in into that, we will be having some free movies. Am I right, guys? You can watch some free movies and some free web series. But if you want to watch the premium movies released very recently, do we need to pay some cost or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we need to pay some cost and take the subscription or upgrade your subscription from the what is it, free model to what is that, pay as you go model. In the same way, here also some of the services is provided free, and rest of all which is required, you need to buy it one by one as per the requirement. Getting my point? And upgrade yourself. So hence this kind of model is called as, what is it, guys? This kind of model is called as what? Pay as you go model. It is called as what? Pay as you go model. Okay, pay as you go. That's it. That means you have to pay and you have to move forward. That means as you're using, you have to pay it. That is called as what? Pay as you go model. Getting my point, all of you? And apart from this, even you will have one that is called as what? Free service. So obviously free service will be for a limited period of time. After that, obviously you have to pay the cost and take the services of the same. Okay, guys? Okay. So now the concept is clear, everyone? Yeah, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So now let us get into the, let us get into the topics here. So now when it comes to this thing, we have it. So now, guys, I wanted to just walk you through from a very basic point here. Very basic. That is nothing but, first of all, I will start with languages. Yes, guys, what do you understand by the word called language? Tell me now. Or what do you understand by the word called language? When I'm using the word called language, what is the first thing which encounters into your mind? Now, guys, you and me are interacting with each other. We are understanding the conversation. We are discussing the things. Am I right? We are understanding the conversation. We are discussing the things. Now, guys, all these things we are doing it. So with the help of what? Yes, with the help of what?
Language.
Language. So we can say that, yeah, can I say like this? We can use a language as a means of communication between you and me. Am I right?
Yes.
We can use the language as a means of communication between you and me. Am I right, guys? Or else we can say that language is the means of communication between you and me. Am I right, guys?
Yes, sir.
So now here, in the same way, guys, in the same way, whenever you wanted to interact with the computer, so does the computer understand your language? Does the computer understand your language? Yes, guys, tell me. No, it does not understand. So in that case, what is that we need to do? We need to use some computer languages. Those are called as, what is that? C, C++. Okay, then we have Java, etc., etc. Whereas, okay, guys. So these are the languages we need to use it to interact with a computer. Am I right, guys? Whereas, yes, what we do by interacting? Now, guys, you and me are interacting.
Shankar, please mute.
Okay, you and me are interacting. Yes, put it in the mute mode, all of you. Somebody is disturbing the things. Okay, it's disturbing the class. So kindly put it into the mute mode and you can listen, continue the listening. Okay, guys. Now, guys, you have a language. So language here, what is that? You have the language is used to interact with each other, isn't it or not? So in the same way, we interact with the computer by using the language. Now, you and me are interacting with each other right now by using a common means of understanding called English. But what we are doing it, why are we interacting with each other? Can you tell me, guys? What is the need of interacting with each other? You and me, you all are interacting with me and I'm interacting with you guys by using a means of communication called what? English. Why? To share the knowledge. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
To share the knowledge. In the same way, guys, in the same way, we interact with the computer. We interact with the computer by using these languages. By using these languages to achieve a task. To achieve a task. That a task is nothing but what is a task, guys? To develop a package. Develop what is that? Package. So what do you mean package? Package is a set of predefined commands. Package is a set of what is it, guys? Predefined commands to achieve a task. To achieve a task. Now, guys, in the computer, you wanted to design your resume. That is called as your CV. Okay, curriculum vitae. You want to design it. What is the document you use it? Can you tell me?
What document?
Yes, we use the MS Word. So now, guys, we use what's it? MS Word. So do we write any code to run the MS Word? Do we write any code? No. Simply we click on it, it will open and resume will be designed thereof. Okay. Whereas that means the Word is a ready-made package. Word is a ready-made package which is developed by using what is that? Languages. Which is developed by using what is that? Languages. Am I right, guys? So in the same way, if you wanted to put the data in the form of rows and columns, table in the form of tabular format, what is the format we have in the computer? Tell me now. Yes. What's the format we use it?
Excel.
Very good. We use what's it? Excel. So Excel is what? Excel is a predefined package. It is already designed for us. Simply we can use it. Okay. Whereas if at all you want to give some kind of power presentation, so we use what is it? Microsoft PowerPoint. Am I right, guys? Microsoft, what is that? PowerPoint. So for different situation, okay, for different situation, different type of packages are designed and kept it for us. Whereas all these packages are ready-made and ready-made, okay, ready-made, okay, or we can say ready-made applications which are already created by using the languages. So whereas languages, can we say like this? Languages are the technical applications. Can we say that? Of course, because languages are nothing but what's that? C, C++, etc., Java. These are all the languages. Whereas these all languages are nothing but technical in nature. So hence we call it as what is that? The technical applications. Am I right, guys? These are called as what is that? Technical applications. Technical applications. Whereas, guys, when it comes to this technical applications, whereas, guys, packages are what? Packages are what? Yes, guys, packages are what? Ready-made. You need not write any command. So can we say all the packages are nothing but functional applications? Am I right?
Yeah.
These are called as what? Functional applications. That means what do you mean functional applications? An application where you need not write any command. Simply you can double click and use it. It is called as what? Functional application. And technical application is an application where we need to write what is that? The commands to develop. Getting my point? And whereas the functional applications are developed using what is that? Technical applications. Okay, guys. So these are the two different type of applications we have it. Okay. What do you mean technical applications, please? What do you mean technical applications? Where you need to write the commands. What do you mean functional applications? Where the user does not need not write any command. Very good. So whereas, okay, whereas now, guys, let us see if you combine or if we combine technical applications, if we combine, guys, technical applications and the functional applications together. If we combine, guys, if we combine the technical applications and what is that? The functional applications together, what does it give rise to? Yes, guys, whenever you combine the technical applications and the functional applications together, it gives rise to what is that? Techno-functional applications. What is that? Techno-functional applications. So what do you mean techno-functional applications, guys? Techno-functional applications are those where you have 50% of which will be technical and 50% of which will be, what is that? Functional. That means 50% you need to write the command and 50% will be, what is that? Pre-written. Am I right, guys? Which are called as what? Techno-functional applications. Techno-functional applications. Okay, guys. So under this techno-functional applications, we have the following, where something has to be predefined and something will be the predefined. That is called as what? Techno-functional applications. So under the techno-functional applications, we have the following applications. What are those? Yes, guys. What are those? The first one here, I can say it is called as, what is that? Yes, guys. It is called as what? ERP applications. What is that? ERP applications. Whereas the second one, we have it as, what is that, guys? The second one, we have it as what? Database. The second one is, what is it? We have it. Yes, guys. Database. Database. Okay. Whereas before we move ahead, let me walk you through what is an ERP. Okay, guys. What is an ERP? Now, guys, when it comes to this ERP, so what do you understand by the ERP? Tell me now. What do you understand by the ERP, guys? The ERP stands for, what is that? E stands for what? Enterprise. E stands for what? Enterprise. R stands for what, guys? Resource. Very good. And P stands for, what is it, guys? Yes.
Planning.
Very good. Planning. Okay. P stands for, what is it? Plan. Or planning, whatever we say. Now, guys, so what do you mean by enterprise? Enterprise is nothing but an organization. An organization or a company is called as an enterprise. Now, guys, when it comes to the resource, now, guys, what do you mean by resource? Okay, leave about this. Now, this is the online class going on. To run this class, what is that we require it? Tell me.
Internet, laptop.
Come again.
Require internet.
Internet, laptop, and the application, what Zoom application, what you are using it. Okay, and even the notepad file. So these are all called as what? Resources of the classroom. Am I right, guys? In the same way, the resources of an organization is classified or divided into, yes, guys, 3 categories. The first one is called as what? Manpower. The first one is called as, what is it, guys? Manpower. And the second one, what is that we have it? Finance. Okay, finance. And then the next one is, what is it you have it? Yes, what is it we have it? Assets. These are the 3 resources of an organization. Okay, what is that? The first one is the manpower. The second one is the finance. And third one is the assets. Where P stands for, what is it, guys? Planning. So planning is nothing but how to plan the manpower, finance, and assets of an organization. How to plan the manpower, finance, and what is that? Assets of an organization. Assets of an organization to get the, what is it, guys? Maximum output. To get, what is it, guys? Maximum, what is that? Output. That means output refers to, what is that? Profits. So that means you can say that how to extract the maximum profit from the available resources of an organization. This particular solution is given by the concept called, what is it, guys? ERP. Is given by the concept called, what is that? ERP. And whereas the ERP provides the solution for the following domains. What is it? We have it? Sales and distribution domain. Then we have what? HRMS domain. Then we have, what is that, guys? Material management domain. Okay. Then we have what's it? Finance domain, etc., etc. Whereas these are all the domains. These are all the domains of the ERP. And on these domains, we have the softwares available in the market. What is that? We say SAP SD. Actually, SD is the domain of the ERP. And on this domain, SAP has come out with their softwares. So hence we call it as what? SAP SD. And I think even you might have heard about SAP MM, material management. Means what? Yes, guys. Means what? Material management is the domain, and SAP has come out with their software on the material management. Likewise, you have SAP FICO is there. Okay, guys, finance FICO means what? SAP is the software, and this software is developed on what is a domain called what? Finance. And all these are domain specific. That means it is provided for particular domains to achieve the task and get the maximum profits. Getting my point, guys? This is the goal and motive of the ERP. That's it, guys. Now let us see what is an application. We have it under the database. So what do you mean by database? Yes, guys, we are getting into the main subject here. So what do you mean now by the word called, what is that, guys? Database. Tell me now. Yes, guys, what do you understand by the word called database? Database is nothing but a place where information is recorded in the tabular format. That is in the form of rows and columns. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Database is nothing but a place where information is recorded in the form of, what is that? Rows and columns, where the database actually divides its data, guys, divides its data into the two categories here. The database divides its data into, what is that? Two categories. Okay, so what is that? The first one is called as, what is that, guys? The first one is called as, what is it, guys? The first one is called as what? Yes, the first one is called as a transaction database. The first one is called as what? Transaction database. Transaction, what is that? Database. Okay, transaction database. And the second is, what is it? You have it. The second one is nothing but, this is called as the data warehouse. This is called as, what is it, guys? Data warehouse. Data warehouse. Okay, guys. So now data warehouse, database. That's what you can say. So now we can say that the database is divided or classified into two categories. What is it? You have it. The first one is called as a transaction database, and the second one is called as, what is it, guys? Data warehouse database. Getting my point? Now, so what is transaction database? Transaction database is a database where actually the data is recorded in which manner here, guys? A detailed manner. The data is recorded in which manner here? Detailed manner. And these records, yes, guys, these records are used for what? These records are used for what? Verification. These records are used for, what is it, guys? Verification and what is that? Verification and validation. Verification and what is it, guys? Validation. Verification and what is that? Validation. Whereas the data within a data warehouse is recorded in which manner here? It is recorded in the summarized manner. It is recorded in which manner? Summarized manner. And these records are used for, what is that? These records are used for, what is that? Decision making. Decision making. Okay, guys, am I right? So these records are used for, what is that? Decision making. So the data within a data warehouse is also called as what? Decision making system. Now, guys, so I think those who are not from the technical background might be worried and confused about all this. Now, guys, let us forget about this. Come out of the subject now. Now I'll give you an example. Now, guys, you have a textbook. All of you, you have a textbook. So now you wanted to buy a textbook for storybook, or you wanted to buy a English storybook. Okay, you wanted to buy an English storybook. Okay, guys. So what will you do? As soon as you thought of buying an English storybook, you will go to the shop. You will go to the shop and ask the shopkeeper to give you the books, to show you the books. Okay, to show you the books for English storybooks, you will ask. So what does the shopkeeper does? Tell me now. He shows you some, 100 books. He shows you around 100 books. So there is one shelf. Let us assume that there is one shelf and he showed you all 100 story English books are there. So now guys, how do you make the decision of purchasing which book? Yeah, tell me please. Did you follow my example or not?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there you wanted to buy a English story book and you have visited a book hosiery and asked the shopkeeper to show you the English storybook, and he has shown you in the rack some around 100 books are there. So now guys, how do you make the decision of purchase? Are you going to sit at the shop and read the entire 100 books there at the shop itself and then you take the decision?
No, sir. No.
Not possible. Literally not possible. Am I right? Is it possible, guys?
No.
Not possible. So what is the way you adopt it there? So now guys,
Go with index.
very good. You'll go with what is that? Index. Very good. So whereas every book will have a first or second paper with a name called index, with a name called prefix, with a name called index, with a name called prefix, etc., etc. Whereas what does the index or prefix consist of? Tell me now. The topic name along with page number. The topic name along with page number. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
That means whatever the topics are covered in the book, that will be there in the index paper. That will be there in the index paper. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
So all of them will be there in the index paper. Now the question is, you can read the index paper and take the decision of purchasing that book or not purchasing that book. Am I right, guys? You can take a decision of purchasing that book or not purchasing that book. You can take any of the decision. Okay, just by reading the index paper. But you want something detail about some of the story there in the book, index paper. So what you need to do, tell me now.
Directly go to that page while
Yes,
using it.
yes, exactly. Directly go to that page and start reading. So we can say that using the index paper, you can decide whether to buy the book or not. But if you want to know what is the story is there, you have to go to the particular page number and start reading the book from that particular page number till the end. So we can say that the book is divided into two different parts. One is the detailed part, another is the summarized part. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
So summarized part is why we are using it to take the decision of purchasing that book or not. Whereas the summary part, we are using it for what? So the detailed part is we are using it for what? The detailed part, why we are using it, guys? The detailed part we are using to verify or validate. Am I right, guys? Verify or what is that? Validate. So in the same way here also, guys, you can consider the textbook as a database, and as a textbook has two parts. The first part is what is it? You have it. Yes, guys. Index paper. So index paper is like your data warehouse. Index paper is your like your data warehouse, and transaction database is what is that? The detailed part which you can find from the second page till the end of the book, the entire detailed data. So whatever the records entered here in the transaction database, or whatever the records entered in the data warehouse, that can be verified or validated by using the transaction database. By using what is that? Transaction database. Now guys, the next question comes here. Which part of the book is developed first? Index paper, the index paper is written first, or the book is written first?
Book is the first, sir.
Book. So based on the book only the index paper will be developed. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Based on the book only the index paper. Okay, the index paper is developed. So whereas here, guys, in the same way we can say that based on the transaction database only, the data warehouse is developed. The data warehouse is developed or written here based on what is that? Transaction database. Getting my point? Whereas here, guys, as just now you told me that the index paper will be written first. Sorry, the book will be written first, and based on the book, the index paper will be written second. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the procedure we followed. Suppose you have to write the index. Suppose you have to write the index for 1,000 books. Can you do it manually?
It's possible, but it will take time.
It will take time.
Very much time consuming process. So whereas in the same way we require the support of some technology. In the same way here, suppose you have crores of records are there in a transaction database and you have to develop the data warehouse. That means summarize, you have to summarize these records. So whenever you wanted to convert the detailed data into what is that summarized manner, here we use the technique or the process called what is that, guys, what is that? ETL, which stands for what? Extraction. Which stands for what? Extraction.
Transformation language.
Yes, transformation.
Load.
Load.
Very good. And what is that? Loading. Extraction, transformation, and what is that? Loading. So whereas we use the extraction, transformation, and loading as the technique to convert the detailed data into what is that? Summarized manner. Whereas, guys, whereas the ADF, let us come to what is that? Back to the ADF. Can you see here, guys? We have the product called what is that? So service called what is that? ADF, which stands for what? Azure Data Factory. So whereas the Azure Data Factory is used or developed on the same, what is that? It is a service provided by the Microsoft to perform the job of what is that, guys? ETL, which stands for what? Extraction, transformation, and loading. Between what is it between? Clouds and on-premises, or on-premises to what is that? Clouds. Vice versa, you can do it. Vice versa, you can do it, guys. Okay. You can transfer the data from cloud to on-premises and as well as from the on-premises to the cloud environment by using the technique called what is that? By using the service called what is that? Azure Data Factory, where the Azure Data Factory is totally a that is nothing but it is GUI, graphical user interface, where the code of that is amount of code will be 0. You will not write any amount of code here. Everything will be application driven here. Okay, drag and drop, application driven, but the concept will be the same. But the you need not write any commands here whenever we use this ADF. Whereas apart from this, we also have the service provided by the Azure, that is by the the Microsoft Azure, with a name called what is it? Azure Databricks. Whereas the Databricks is also used for the same job. The Databricks is also used for what is that, guys? Same job. Whereas this service is purely character user interface, where to learn this, to go ahead with this, we must and should know the Python. We must and should know what is that, guys? The Python. We must and should know the Python here, and we must and should know the R, or else I can say like this: you can write the commands using the Databricks into 4 different languages. Those are called as what? R, Python, Scala, and SQL. Okay, so these are all the languages. So here you need to have the the fully programming this thing. You'll find it in the Databricks, and Data Factory is completely a graphical user interface. Okay, so whereas when it comes to this requirement in the market, you have a very good requirement because cloud is the future. Cloud is the future. Every business entity is trying to move the data from the on-premises to cloud environment. Whenever they require to move the data into the cloud environment, obviously the data engineers is required. Okay, so a data engineer is required. So data engineer, so you will here become the data engineer. You'll become the data engineer, and as you are supporting the product called Azure, we are called as what? Azure Data Engineer. We call it as what? Azure Data Engineer. Once you learn one product or one service, Azure Data Factory, it will be very much easy for you to grasp the concept of AWS and also the concept of what is it? Google Cloud. Okay, and even the Snowflake, etc., etc. Anyways, in this process of course of time, we'll be seeing even this the integration of GCP, integration of the Amazon, integration of the Snowflake, all these things will be seen as a part of this course. And whereas these two are the different products. Azure Data Factory is a separate one, and Azure Databricks is a separate one. And the batch which we are going to start it from tomorrow onwards, so that will be for the ADF, that is Azure Data Factory, guys. Okay. And whereas the duration of this course, the duration will be that is nothing but 60 hours. It will be 60 hours, guys. It will be, what is that, 60 hours. And whereas you will have the classes 5 days a week, that is from Monday to Friday. Okay, from Monday to Friday you will have the class. Okay. And sometimes if at all you the portion is not covered, or sometime if it is required, then we'll also have the class on even Saturdays. Okay, so mostly, but in the weekdays you will have the class from Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday means every day you will have a class of 1 hour 20 minutes to 1.5 hours. Okay, so the class will start at 8 o'clock from tomorrow, and 8 to 9:15 or 9:30. Okay, so I request all of you to just log in that is nothing but by 8 maximum, 8 or maximum by 8:05, not beyond that. Okay, guys, so that's the thing we have it. Now, guys, you can go ahead with your questions if you have any, please.
Samir, I have one question. So as a part of this course, are we going to cover like how we install any service like Power BI integration of this thing? Or if I'm going with the Databricks, then how can we mount the EDLS points over there?
Very good. Yeah, we are going to see the basic functionality with the basic integration of the mounting, what you said in ADB, and the basic integration of Power BI. We will see we'll see some examples. Okay, on this Databricks we'll see some 6 to 7 examples, and on Power BI we'll see some 2 to 3 examples, not more than that. Okay.
Okay, and how can we going to create a storage account?
That is as a part of this as well. See, the storage accounts and all these things are common for bricks, or it can be ADF, whatever you have it.
Okay, perfect.
That's it. Yeah, next question.
Sir, as a fresher, we get the opportunity in Azure, or
yes,
we
obviously
required any experience?
No, right now, most of the corporates, even because of lack, they don't have the resources available. Okay, even they're hiring the freshers. Okay, so some corporates are straight away they are saying, if you are already worked somewhere on some other technology, or not on the technology wise, but you know this ADF, but you should be very good on the subject part. They are hiring it, most of the companies. Okay.
Will you provide the regard classes?
Yes, the recorded sessions will be given to you on the Google Drive.
Okay.
Samir, one more question I have. So if I have to create any ADF, pipeline or anything, so are we going to use later on either CLI or the ARM templates for that, so that instead of creating by UI, we can use the CLI or any other?
Yes, we can also create by CLI, command line interface.
ARM templates?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, Miss, we are going to give a review for that one.
Yes, we are going to see that.
Okay, fine.
Sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in real time, in Azure Data Factory, real time, Power BI experience is mandatory or not mandatory?
Not mandatory. If you have, then it's fine. You can put your own package. If you don't have, obviously you can start up as a fresher also. That's not a mandatory thing to have a experience on ADF. Anyways, nowadays, see, this particular version of ADF, it released in 19 and odd. Okay, 19 and odd. So 18 and odd, something like that. So you cannot put more than even 2 to 3 years of experience. So now that means they don't have their hands available, resources available in the market. The requirement is very huge. So you can also apply as a fresher and you can get a job.
Okay, sir, but I have long gap of
See, gap and all this thing doesn't matter, guys. You can just go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, I had a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Microsoft has one more ETL product, that is SSIS, and
Yeah.
it is also available on cloud. So
Yeah.
how exactly Azure Data Factory offers something different from SSIS? I wanted to know about that.
See, basically SSISC, whereas various kind of integration runtimes is provided here in ADF. That means you can use self-hosted, and even you can run the SSIS packages here in the ADF. So it's far that is more better than the SSIS individually it provides.
Okay, like is Microsoft still investing in SSIS, or
No.
like Azure is the future for
Azure is the
Microsoft?
future. Azure is
Okay.
the future.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, next, please go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Are you going
sir.
to cover the real-time case studies as well?
Pardon me?
Are you going to cover real-time case studies as well?
Yes, real-time cases and as well as the FAQs will be provided to you. Yeah, tell me, ma. Some lady was talking. Yeah, go ahead, ma.
Yes, sir. ADF is only enough to get a job or any other skills required.
No, basically other skills is not required, and you don't need to get trained on any other thing. If you just concentrate well on this is more than enough for you to get a job. Okay, and if you anyways the bricks whatever up to the part is required, we will be seeing some good hand of examples on bricks also. So further, if you require it, you can just continue with the bricks. If not, you can easily get a job on ADF. You don't need to learn anything else. Okay.
Sir, ADF and AWS both are same, sir?
ADF is a product of Microsoft and AWS is the product of Amazon.
So, but the concept is same.
Concept is same. See, concept is same. Samsung and iPhone is same. But what is the quality you have it? iPhone is the number one in the world, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the thing. Both are mobile phones only. Samsung is also mobile phone and iPhone is also mobile phone. And Oppo is also mobile phone. Which is better compared to Oppo and Samsung? Samsung is better. Compared to Samsung and iPhone, iPhone is better. That's the thing we have it. That's it.
After completion of this course, can we get any certificate like that we have learned?
That we can provide you, but basically does not it will not work for you. Rather than that, this certificate you can also have a certification provided by the Microsoft Azure itself. You can write some online certification, you'll get that. That's better rather than we giving you, or if we give it also, this is this is not accepted by the corporates. That's obviously because the only thing what we have it here is a good thing. You will not have any kind of piracies. Nothing is required. Some pirated software installation and all this things not required. Everything is cloud based. That's it. Okay. Please go ahead.
Samir,
yeah.
I had a question. So in Azure Data Engineering, we had these three categories, right? Azure Data Factory and Databricks. And one more thing is there, no? Synopsis.
Synapse.
So
Synapse is the data warehousing of data warehouse of Azure.
Okay.
Synapse is the data warehousing of Azure.
Are we going to cover this?
Yes,
cover that
Synapse,
topic?
yes, Synapse, we are going to cover it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Any other questions?
Course content and brief explanation about it.
Course content, you can get it on the web page, on the DURGASOFT web page. You can find the course content. Okay. You can just...
there I get it yesterday, but it is a huge content is there. I'm confusing what and all the topic will cover as part of
all the topics will be covered. Whatever the things are given, that will be all covered in that.
They mentioned 12 modules here. We're covering
yes,
all.
Obviously, yes, all 12 modules we are going to cover it.
Okay, thanks.
Sir, are you provide real-time project in the course content course?
the course content is designed in such a way that the real-time scenarios are included. Okay, the project is nothing but implementation of the same. So how it's being implemented? What are the scenarios? If you see the scenarios, that is more than enough, and that is like a project-based training only. You don't require separately to have something else like that. Okay, guys.
Hello. Yeah.
Next question, please.
Is this a development part or it is a testing part? And other thing is that on the behalf of only Azure factory, can we get a job?
Yeah, basically it is a development job. You'll be working as a Azure data engineer, as a developer, obviously, and this is more than enough for you to get a job. ADF is more than enough for anyone to get a job. You need not learn anything else apart from this, but obviously knowledge is vast. If you want to know more things, you can, there is no end for it. Okay, that's it.
Is ADF will be covered over here?
Yeah, obviously the ADF is covered. Azure Data Factory is ADF is.
Sorry, sir. Yes, Azure Databricks.
Bricks is a separate course, and it separate this thing in detail. But here the relative concepts are covered. Some scenarios I told you, no? Some 8 to 10 scenarios of bricks also we are going to see it here.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, next, any question?
Yes, Samir, I'm not sure whether this is relevant or not. As of now, I'm already working as a cloud engineer, Azure cloud engineer, okay?
Okay.
On a migration support project. So, according to my experience, so whether this would be Azure Data Factory is a much better or DevOps is a much better. I just need your advice on this.
See, that basically it depends upon your expertise and level of interest. Obviously,
Yes.
DevOps is on its side and ADF is on this side. If I said Azure, Data Factory is very good, then it is a type of the marketing way of what I did it for myself. So, anyways,
Okay.
it depends upon your interest. Both are good. That is, DevOps is also good, and
Yeah, that is correct, as you said, but market-wise also, so which one would be the much, I mean, I can place as a first place for a next move on my career.
So what you can do is, when it comes to this, DevOps is okay. Basically, it's there in the market since very long. When it comes to this, this particular thing, ADF, it has come very recently. So obviously, the demand will be much more. Will not have much hands. You can demand a good package on this. Okay, those are the things you can just put it advantages. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Any
Thank
other
you.
questions?
Yes.
Yeah, any other questions, guys?
Samir, you're going to teach any ADP course separately?
ADB, yeah, we have a separate batch. We're going to start the ADB batch separately.
Okay, like, is there any recent batch starting?
Yeah, you can check with the management. They can tell you on this. But we are starting a separate ADB batch also.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Sir, how much programming is required in ADB?
ADB is fully programming. It is fully programming based.
ADB means?
Azure Databricks.
Okay.
The project will explain simultaneously with the classes or after completion of the classes?
Simultaneously in the classes, and one overview we'll walk through after this also, because at the time of designing the last STD is slowly changing dimensions 1, 2 and 3. Okay, we have it. So in that we'll see a type of project only.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I am an ATL tester, so how it is help me?
Obviously, if you wanna make out to this clouds, obviously that's better. Your ETL, that is you're onto this on-premises, working on on-premises or onto the clouds?
Just database testing. One database transformed one database to another database.
Okay. So anyways, I told you now this already, if you are a working professional and you have already exposure in it, then you have to decide it rather than me telling you it is good for you or not. To, it's better you take a decision, but I will always suggest that you have to be with the upcoming technology or upcoming product in the market. Okay, or which is already ruling the market, because you will have much openings on it, much these things. Okay, so that's the thing I can tell you.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, guys, any other questions? You can come out, please.
I had one question, sir.
Yeah.
2011 passed out student is better to learn Azure Data Factory.
Yeah, that is not an, I told you, na gap. If you have, that's not a problem. If you have passed out in 2000 also, no issues. That means
okay.
you can go ahead as a fresher, no problem. You can put up your experience, whatever the previous experience you have it, but you should have a good amount of skill set, whatever we have it, the ADF skill set, you should be very perfect on it.
Okay.
That's it.
Samir, I have one more question. So if we are doing this course, so this will be fine for AD 900, or we need to learn more?
The amount of subject what we are covering, that is more than enough for you to crack the interview also.
AG 900?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can write
And hope, and hope like if we are starting for the ADB as well, the timing should be the different, so that we can attend this one
parallel.
as
That is that is soon after this you will have a ADB batch. So it is till 9:30 now. So 9:30 to 11 o'clock we'll have a ADB mostly.
Okay, that should be fine, because we need to attend both basically.
Yeah, that will be the parallel things you'll have it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.